so no need to worry. So we will going to start our session today within a minute. I'm just sharing the slides. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So earlier 3 days we have discussed all 19 units of block 2, that is MES block 1, block 2, and today we are taking block 3, and unit 3rd is about major school of philosophy. So is it moving? Yeah, is
Yes,
it
sir.
moving? So today we will discuss the role of philosophy in guiding education, and there are several types of philosophy and what are their viewpoint regarding aims of education, nature of curriculum, and what should be the methodology according the particular philosophy, and what is the role of teacher of different philosophy point of view, etc., as given by the various school of philosophy, and what are the school of philosophy we will discuss today. So first, before going to that, we should be aware that what is philosophy and what is the linkage of education with the philosophy. Teaching requires the careful blending of theory and practice, and theory without practice is insufficient. Practice unguided by theory is also aimless. So, therefore, philosophy without its three branches, which are given below, is baseless or is it not complete. So, what are the three important branches? First is metaphysics, second is epistemology, and third is axiology. Metaphysics talk about the study of nature of ultimate reality, means what is in the reality, what is in the atmosphere, and what is the belief. Involve speculation about the nature of existence. So metaphysics talk about ultimate reality and nature of existence. Epistem- Epistemology talk about the theory of knowing and knowledge, means epistemology is linked with knowledge and is of crucial importance of to educators, because knowledge is the important and it's deal by the epistemology of every school. The third is axiology. Axiology talk about the value, what the value inculcated in the human being, and what are the attempt to perspective what is good and what is right, means it is deal by the axiology, then what is right, what is good, what is correct. Uh, in summarize, it can be concluded that axiology deal with value system which is inculcated in the human being by education and other means of human development of the society. But all these three, apart of all these three, one is most important concept, that is known as logic. Logic is also connected with the philosophy. So what is logic? Logic is concerned with the result, with the rules or pattern of correct and valid thinking. Means it is more or less linked with kind of arithmetical calculation, because logic require knowledge of mathematics and kind of induction and deduction reasoning. So logic are two types, like that is deductive logic and one is inductive logic. Deductive logic refer to the reasoning that moves from general statement or principle to particular instant or particular statement or particular applications. Means general statement to particular statement, it's deal by the logic, deductive logic. Inductive logic is reasoning that moves from particular instant to generalization. Say for induction, inductive means if anything, any statement is there, and for further description towards generalization, it comes under the inductive logic. So these four things should be aware to the teachers to understand what is philosophy and what are the important linkage with the education that we will see in coming slides. So there are many school of philosophies, and the oldest one is idealism. Idealism asserts the primacy of the mental, the spiritual, and the ideal uh, as the basis of reality. Means idealism is a connected kind of reality. In idealism, knowledge, knowing is recognition or reminiscence of latent idea that are the perform in the mind. So according to idealist epistemology, education's major goal is to stimulate learner to achieve more vital and fuller identification with the absolute mind. So this is little about idealism. So according to idealism, what should be the aim of education? So aim of education as per the idealist that are to ensure spiritual development of the individual, to preserve or enrich and transmit the cultural heritage of man from one generation to other generation, to explore the realize universe values such as truth, goodness, beauty of life. These are the universal value, and inculcation of these value is the aims of education to emancipate or liberate human spirit. This is also the aim of education as per the as per the idealism. So what should be the curriculum as per the idealism? As per the idealism, the curriculum should be the idealist curriculum is based upon the spiritual nature of man. Curriculum may include any subject that can foster spiritual development, like reading of epics, Gita, Bible, this Ramayana. These are the spiritual things, and by going through, then man can understand and man can be developed by the spiritual knowledge and create an idea itself. It should reflect the experience of the human race as a whole. Idealism attach great importance to humanities, means how to live together with happiness, how to respect each another, how to behave with each other, and how to help to each other. So this is the importance of idealism. Idealism attach great importance to humanities, culture, art, history, philosophy, literature, and religion. Curriculum should contain such subject which will bring about intellectual, aesthetic, and moral development of man. So curriculum should also include that intellectual and aesthetic and moral development of man. So this is according to idealism. What should be the curriculum and what are the aim of idealism. Next, what should be the method of teaching as per the idealism philosophy? See, who was the founder? Socrates was the founder of idealism. Socrates used dialects, question answer method. Dialects is the method of discovering the truth of ideas by discussion and logical argument, and by the considering ideas that are opposed to each other. So Socrates used question answer, means kind of debate. This is the way of teaching in idealism. Conversation or discourse method, deductive method, inductive method, lecture method, analytical method, these are also method as per the idealism teaching methods. These are the idealistic axiology. Education is a process of unfolding and development of the inherent potential, whatever is inherent in the child, It is the idealism that always advocate that it should be come out from the child. Learning is a discovery process in which the learner is stimulated to recall the truth present within the mind, and the teacher should be a moral and cultural exemplar or model of values that represent the highest and best expression of the personal and human development. So this is the way of method, means kind of dialect method, kind of inductive deductive method, or kind of conversation with kind of debate. This is the method of teaching. And what is the role of teachers according to idealism? Just yeah, the important role of teachers are following. Idealism considered teacher as a spiritual guide who lead the child from darkness to light, means he is a torch bearer. As per the idealism, the teacher should be a torch bearer. Teacher is a friend, philosopher, and guide. Teacher is the embodiment of virtues and ideal, and should present high standard of behavior and conduct before pupils. Because if he means he or she, that teacher is not having uh, a high standard of behavior, then he or she will not inculcate the values among the student or child. The teacher should encourage the pupil to think for themselves. The teacher should have a deep knowledge of his or her subject. It means teacher should be a subject expert. Teacher should aim at inculcating right values in the pupils. The teacher should encourage the spiritual development of the pupil. So this is as the teacher role should be like that as per the idealism philosophy. Next philosophy is naturalism. And accord naturalism basically believes in what is involved in the nature, what is exist in the nature. That is the kind of philosophy of naturalism, and his founder was Rousseau. Rousseau was the founder of naturalism. So, and Rousseau, according to Rousseau, what should be the aim of education? Means self-preservation. The child must be able to preserve and protect himself or herself body, since it is important as his or her mind. Means Rousseau always talk about the child's importance, that he or she should be developed within the nature or by learning themselves with the help of nature and with the under the guidance of teacher. Securing necessities of life, the aim of education should be to equip an individual to struggle for existence and thus to ensure his or her survival. Means he should left alone with the guidance of teacher, that learners should learn, learners should understand the things, what is good, what is right. It is the uh, naturalism. Maintenance of social and political relations. Education should enable to child to adjust himself or herself to the environment. Enjoyment of leisure means learner should enjoy the nature, environment, as well as learn from the nature. Personality development. If the learner involved in playing and physical exercise, that definitely the uh, child's personality developed by as per the naturalism. So, what should be the nature of curriculum to obtain aim of education as per the naturalism? The curriculum is based on the nature of the child and his or her interest. Means curriculum should be based on child interest. That the learner is child centered. Sorry, education is child centered as per the naturalism. Curriculum lays stress on subjects that are helpful in self-preservation. Means naturalism believes that tough subject should not be there. Subject should be like that student or child can easily understand, easily cope up with the knowledge. The curriculum stress basic sciences, means curriculum should contain basic sciences, not high standard sciences. It should contain only basic sciences. The curriculum emphasizes physical and health education. Basically, health and physical education is the most important of naturalism. And what should be the methodology of teaching as well as instructions? So, as per the naturalism, playway method is the most important. Play is the natural activity of the child and natural mode of education. Learning by doing, it is based on principle of self activity and participation. Learning by experiencing, the child learn through his and her personal experience with the nature. For example, if fire is burning, then let child should go with the fire. If he or she feel heat and fire, then definitely he will come back. So this was the observation. This was the philosophy of Rousseau. So he always advocated that learner, that child, should be free from any kind of stress or any kind of pressure or any kind of high kind of guidance and monitoring. So, learning through observation. Observation and experimentation are recommended by naturalists for learning science subject, means let child should learn by observing what is happening actually. So, this is the kind of basic science subject as per the naturalism. Heuristic method. The learner should uh, be ready to know new things. That is known as heuristic. Naturalism advocate heuristic method for learning science and mathematics. This involve learning through discovery method. The child is allowed to seek fact on her own without the teacher dictating fact to the child. So heuristic means learner should be aware, learner should be interested to get new and new knowledge, but within the naturalistic environment. And what should be the role of teacher? By knowing the fact, it is very clear here the role of teacher is not much important. It is only just to supervise, just to help the child, just to assist the child, just to kind nurture the child. So according to the naturalist, nature is the supreme teacher. A teacher should facilitate, means teacher should be facilitator only the process of natural development of the learner. The teacher's responsibility is to create an ideal environment for natural development of the child. So as I said, there is no much important role of teacher. As per the naturalistic philosophy, a teacher is a facilitator and responsible for to create a ideal environment that is within the nature. So this is the naturalism. Next, school of philosophy is pragmatism. Pragmatism also believe in a kind of practice and reality. What is basically existence? It is basically, and this school is developed by all these first and two and third are developed by the not Indian philosopher, foreign philosopher or Western philosopher. So, what is the aim of education as per the pragmatism? Pragmatism says that aim of education to cultivate a dynamic and adaptive mind that is resourceful and enterprising to all situations, to bring about all round harmonious development of the individual by directing him or her impulsive interest and abilities toward the satisfaction of the child. Just a minute, please wait. Yes. So, second aim of education to enable the learners to reconstruct his or her experience continuously in the light of new situations so that the learners become able to control their environment and fulfill their aim to produce socially competent, economically efficient, and cultured persons, to enable the child to create new realities and values for optimum personal and social adjustment in a creative manner. So, what should be the nature of curriculum as per the pragmatism? Pragmatism says that the principle of utility means curriculum should be based on principle of utility means that whatever we are including in our curriculum that should be useful to the child. It regard utility is the prime mover in the determination of curriculum according those subject activities experience should be included in the curriculum which are useful for hitting and the present and future need of the child. Principle of interest. Curriculum should be based on child interest means interest of child or learners are paramount interest in designing the curriculum as per the pragmatism. Principle of experience. The curriculum should have experience that lead to learning. Pragmatism lays emphasis on practical work, child activity, vocation and experience. Learning should be by doing. So this is the as per the curriculum, as per the pragmatism curriculum, and this is one more principle of correlation. Pragmatism advocate correlating teaching of different subjects means all subjects should be correlated to each other for effective learning. Interdisciplinary approach rather than individual subjects bound in watertight compartment is required. For instance, while teaching language, we may include topics on environment, road safety, living being, and the like. Means here we are focusing on language, but some contemporary topics should be included in the language subject like environment, road safety, etc. Means that learner should be aware with language as well as the other contemporary issues that pragmatism advocate. And what should be the method of teaching as per the pragmatism? Pragmatism emphasis purposive learning. Learning is made purposeful by providing real life situations according to natural interest, aptitude, ability, and experience of the learner. Pragmatism advocates learning by doing. Learning experience should be imparted to the learners through activities and practical experiences. Pragmatism require correlating teaching like teaching by linking subject as I said earlier that if we are our focus is to taught language that contemporary issues should be included mean kind of interdisciplinary approach should be there providing experience to the learners by employing correlation and integration of all subject activities and experiences. Pragmatism recommends project method and problem solving method means kind of activity based learning should be there. Project method is a contribution of pragmatist philosophy in education. Otherwise, in the naturalism and this idealism, project is not advocated. It is only advocated by pragmatism. And what should be the role of teacher as per the pragmatism? Because it is activity based, so teacher is a facilitator and guide. He should guide the student that that project can be done by this way and that way. It considered a teacher as a arranger of experience, stage setter, director, facilitator, and motivator, etc. And he or she means teacher is a good guide, friend, and philosopher. People should think and act for themselves, do rather to know, originate, or generate rather than repeat. Means learners should gain new knowledge by doing some activity and some practical, which is based on reality. So next school is existentialism. As per the this school, the aim of education is to lead, an authentic life means whatever is exist is this school of philosophy is dealt by kind of existence and kind of authentic which is exist in the nature and as well as the humanity as well as the environment. So life which is based on harmony and responsibility. Education should be for life. Education is a preparation for the state of being, enable one to take decision about him or herself, to make the individual a person who is human. This philosophy follows the humanistic approach. So this is the aim of education as per the existentialism. What is the nature of curriculum? It is focused on the individual student. Student freely choose part of the curriculum. It is not very favorable toward the study of science subject with impart objective knowledge. It attach approach on subjective knowledge rather than the objective knowledge because objective truth displaces man away from his or her own self. To encourage self-realization, existentialism particularly favor religious and moral education, strongly recommend the teaching of humanities, ethics, art, literature, drama, music, and social studies. These are the main subject. It should be included in the curriculum as per the existentialism. Next is mastery of 3 R's. 3 R's means 3 R's elementary stage means reading, writing, and mathematics. So, teaching of foreign language, logic, sociology, anthropology, music, arts, mathematics, and philosophy of higher level is proposed by this philosophy. What should be the method of teaching? Socrates method in classroom teaching. In Socrates method, there is a dialect method used by the Socrates. The teacher seeks to draw the information from learners by means of skillfully directed questions. Learning is self-paced, self-directed, and include a great deal of individual contact with the teacher. It includes asking questions, refining answers, asking more questions, and probing the issues until some acceptable conclusion is reached. So it is basically kind of the teacher methodology is just similar to as per the idealism means dialect method is there as per the Socrates recommended. A kind of inward questioning or self questioning is encouraged by the teacher to awaken awareness in the learners. It allows the students the freedom of choice and provide him or her with experience that will help the learners to know themselves and recognize their well being. And the role of teacher is important. What is the role of teacher as per the existentialism? To help students define their own ease by exposing them to various paths they may take in the life. Means there are so many paths that student should be given chance to choose the correct path. To help the students to be original and authentic in the developing values instead of imposing the values of the teachers upon the students means learners should adopt the real values rather than imposing. The existentialism teachers should develop the ability to choose, make a good choice in the learners, to educate the student to learn to face and consequences of his or her own choice, to guide and counsel the students to attain realization of inner self through his or her free existence. And this school also recommend that teachers should not influence a student. Teachers are only the source that the student or child may choose to use for assistance. So this is the existentialism. Now other school is realism. Realism also founded by Western philosopher, although it is being recommended later by the Indian philosopher. And what should be the curriculum according to realism? Realism lays emphasis on finding out the truth. It implies that the curriculum sciences should be given a prominent place, means that advocate that there should be a science because it is believe in kind of reality. Realism stands for the diversification of course which are the related to life. Realism include contemporary event in the curriculum. Realism lays a stress on the inclusion of vocational course in the curriculum. Realism insists the practical utility of the subjects should be the main consideration in the inclusion of the subject in the curriculum. So this is the curriculum as per the realism. And what is the method of teaching? One must look to nature and human nature as a part of natural order for the purpose of education. The key of understanding nature is through the sense. Sensation of the base is the basis of our knowledge of reality because nature uh, process are slow, gradual, and evolutionary. Our education should be unheard. So, method of teaching should be a kind of guidance about reality to the child. Aim of education, as per the realism, the aim of education should be that the child should be prepared for happy and successful life. Education should be planned in a such way that it prepares the child for real life. Mental and physical facilities of the child should be developed. The sense of the child should be developed through appropriate experiences. Education should provide the child with the knowledge of both the society as well as the external nature. Child should be trained for a vocational pursuit. So, what should be the role of teacher as per the realism? Realism does not attach as much importance to the personality of the teachers as an idealist does. A teacher may be only a facilitator who can facilitating learning. If you see, as per the all philosophy, only idealism has given the most important to the teachers. Otherwise, other school recommend that teacher should be as a facilitator, as a guide. So this is about the your block 3, and by taking 2 or 3 minutes break, we will start our last block of today, that is block 4. So wait for 2 3 minutes because we will complete this MES 081 today. We will try. So block 4 talks about childhood education in various countries. You know, the childhood education is being used in many countries, including India. So these topics deal about that which type of childhood education in different countries. So let us. So today's discussion of this particular unit is that discuss the provision of childhood education in different countries, and this is a global perspective on early childhood education. The 6 age to 8 year of age children life comprising the early childhood age stage is a globally acknowledged to be the most critical. That we have already discussed that this early childhood education is the most important part of the life, and various research says that if the nurturing of the child is weak, then his or her all education development may not uh, as rich as others who are taking care, who are getting good quality of childhood education. So this is the basic global perspective, and there are so many researches are on that particular things that the early childhood care education is the backbone of entire level of knowledge, entire system of knowledge. So let us take what is the different kind of philosophy, different kind of importance philosophies. Yes, so we were discussing the global perspective of pre-schooling, or we can say it is childhood education. So early childhood education is UK. What kind of early childhood education in UK? Early childhood care and education for young children started in England in late 18th century on a voluntary and philanthropic basis. Since the second half of the 20th century, with the realization of the importance of early childhood education. Before that, early childhood education was not existence in UK. Serious thought has been given to it, and in 1960 the playgroup or a new provision for preschools were initiated. Preschool in UK follow certain goal of education. These goals pertain to certain area of curriculum which are not equivalent to subject. These are personal, social and emotional development, language, literacy and communication, mathematical development, knowledge and understanding of world, physical development and creative development. These were the main focus of UK preschool education. The next is USA. What talk USA about the early childhood education? Children under 5 are provided with the facility to attend nursery classes attached to infant schools. Kindergarten schools are also there to cater to the education of children between the age group of 3 to 6. Many states have accepted it as the first primary unit of education. Every state government has legislation for providing assistance and setting up kindergarten school. The state government have appointed officers and experts for guiding and inspection of these schools. In some states, special teachers are recruited for looking after the kindergarten school. Although it was practiced in India in later because many kindergarten schools were open in India. Daycare versus preschool in United States, as the many other countries, there has been a split in approach between child care center and preschool. Child centers are designated to meet the child care needs of working parents, while preschools are designed as first social and academic programs for children whose parents are have flexible schedules. Daycare centers generally take children as young as 6 weeks and are often 8 to 12 hours of the day per round. So in USA there is a concept in as it is in our country also crutch is there. So like crutch, they have the day school versus preschool system means they can nurture the child for a day and they can be nurture the child for whole day. The next is Germany. Early child education in Germany. In Germany, the main range of service consists of day facilities for children, facilities for 3 to 6 year old children, like nurseries are the elementary area of education system. Each child in this age group has a legal right to place in this day facilities for children or day early childhood education and care. Day facilities is the official umbrella them covering all form of institutional public care education and child raising before and in addition to school means like earlier philosophy like USA, Germany has also the facility of day caring, or that is the legal right of the child in Germany to get preschool education or early child education as a right. So day nurseries are for the children under the 3 years of age. Nurseries are children from 3 to 6 year age, like it is like in India. Two fundamental political principles underlies the organization, funding, and regulation of early child policy in Germany, namely federation, just a minute. Namely federation, federalism, and subsidiary. Federalism characteristics Germany as a federal state, which three level of government, which are federal, the lander, and the municipalities. The municipality level is responsible for planning and ensuring the provision of early child education care services, and this is a comparable to the Indian situations as India is a also federal state. This is France. France is also kind of having Western concept. Unlike in many countries, preschool education has a long tradition in France. As early in 1771, there were nighting schools for 4 to 7 year old children. New institutions known as Sales Day Asylum were started in the early part of the 19th century and were developed throughout the 19th century. These asylums were primarily intended for children from poor families who were perceived as being a danger in their home. So, starting in 1828, the state began to organize this private charity work. The goal were to teach children order, cleanliness, respect to prepare them for a honest, decent, and Christian life. That was the pre-motto of France. The first republic government passed several schools laws related to the separation of this crutch and state, which would lead to the integration of formally charitable institutions into a public sector. The state assumed responsibility for the organization and the financing of education for 2 to 6 years under the auspices of the Ministry of Public Instructions. So are having kind of overview which type of childhood care education involved in the various different countries. Now, Australia is like that, similar. Responsibility of the preschool in North South Wales and Victoria lies with the Department of Community Services. So you will take care. Preschool known in Australia, preschool known as kindergarten, and these preschools is taught as part of the primary schools. Next, Japan is also like that. In Japan, early child care education has been traditionally divided into two systems: kindergarten for the children above 3 years, which is with the education department, and day nursery for the children below 3 years. So in Japan, this early child care education is divided into two parts. One is kindergarten, and second is nursery, day nursery. So, thus the system of early child education is quite extensive. Kindergarten are non-compulsory school intended to help infant to develop their mind and bodies by providing them with the appropriate educative environment. So this is nothing more. These objectives and corresponding content are set forth in the each of the five aspects of the children development: health, human relations, environment, language, and expression. These are the important focus as per Japan philosophy of education for pre or childhood care education. This is China. China accord importance to the causes of.
Sir, please change the slide, sir.
Pardon?
Still in Germany.
Is it not
Slide is
moving?
showing the Germany one.
Is it working? Is it France now or not?
No.
But it is moving. What happened? Let me see again. This is USA. Is it USA? Yes, it is USA. Then Germany. Then France. Then Australia. Is it coming Australia? Yes, it is coming Australia. I think now it is moving. Japan. Then we
No,
have
sir,
Japan.
nothing is coming.
We, but in my slides it is China. China is there. Which is there. What is showing now?
Sir, nothing. It is showing your
First page
name
only.
only.
First page
No, no,
only.
no. ये वो पावर पॉइंट दिखाई नहीं रहा है वो.
Check again because
Please ask somebody else can also tell because maybe it's problem with me or for all.
let me check. Let me check. Yes.
China is showing, sir.
Is it showing? But
Yes,
is
sir.
it moving?
Yes, sir.
China, we have discussed China. So what it is? What is showing now?
The next.
China. China is showing.
Yes, sir.
Early childhood education in India is showing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have discussed various countries type of education of childhood care education. So now this is the early childhood education in India. Although as per our syllabus and curriculum, we should have main focus on this. But there may be the question differentiate the two three countries childhood care education. So we should aware all kind of education which are being involved, which are being used in different countries. Although we are aware, we are just we are since last 3 days we are getting knowledge about pre schooling or early child care education. So it is not new, but just summarize. The national policy of education considered early childhood care and education is a crucial input for holistic development of the child, and it is a backbone or the most important pillar of education. Hence, early child care education programs are supposed to care for health by ensuring nutrition, immunization, and opportunities for play, for education by developing readiness for school, and for general well-being. As many children would attend such programs, there would be a scope for socializing, leading to social development or development of linguistic abilities. The urging of National Policy of Education of 1986 and its program of action, which came in 1992, are based upon the constitutional provisions that safeguard the well-being of the children. So, first time this was advocate early childhood care education was advocated by 1986, and it is as per the constitutional provision of India. The Constitution of India laid down the certain special safeguard ensuring children's right to survival, protection, and development, while the Article 14 guaranteed that the state shall not deny to any person equality before the law. Article 15, Part 3 emphasize empower the state to make any special provision in favor of children, while Article 23 prohibit tariff in the human being and force labor and treat any contravention to this provision as a punishable offense. Article 24, Article 39, there are so many articles which are advocating the childhood care education of India. But most important is that is Article 45. Article 45 says that following the 86th Amendment of the Constitution in 2002 urged that the state is endeavor to provide early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. So this is the constitutional provision for early childhood care education as per Indian government, Indian philosophy. Next, so this was that what kind of the early childhood care education in different countries, including India. So let us take the introduction to preschool education. Sorry, preschool education, and this unit of preschool education we will discuss what kind of preschool in India, development of preschool education outside India, development of preschool education in India, and the cause of slow progress of preschool education in India. This is a very important topic, and let us discuss quickly because today slide is too long. The education which a child receive before he joins a primary school is called preschool education. We all are aware, and age 0 to 6, but the for learning in preschool, that age is 3 to 6 year. You have read the previous unit, and it is not just new. The type of pre-primary school that we all are aware. Some kindergartens are there, Montessori schools are there, and nursery school are there. In India, all these kind of schools are known as pre-primary schools, or you must say preschooling. Significance of preschool education. Early childhood include the stage of infancy, preschool, and the early primary years. In Indian context, early childhood refer to the age of 0 to 6 that we all are aware. The significance of early childhood for overall development of the child have been established by the researchers, which have been indicated in that the intelligence is not a fixed quotient decided at birth, but it is a function of interaction between the genetic potential and the quality of environment of the child is exposed to. So there are two philosophy. That one is the learner become intelligent by birth, but the second is that is most adopted, most accepted. Even in India, it is accepted only that child learn by the combination of environment as well as their heretic qualities. Finding that particular intellectual development is most rapid in these days that we have already discussed, because this is the very important age, pre-primary education or early childhood care education. Hence we have tremendous significance as an essential intervention for overall development of the child. Piaget was the first and that view that the development is the sequential in nature, and though it appears to be not too fruitful to train the child in specific concept, it is possible to help the child in his or her development by giving a wide variety of experience at the level at which he or she can understand. Next is historical development of preschool education. Development of preschool education in West, that we all are aware that in West, kindergarten and other Montessori type of school were established. Preschool education is an organized system, is barely 200 years, but educationists and philosophers had advocated its need long back. Development of preschool education in India. Christian missionaries play an important role, as we are aware, in the area of preschool education. Preschool education, pre-primary education in India started under the influence of the West. Christian missionaries did some pioneer work in this area in India, and that you all are aware that kindergarten, Montessori, and preschool systems were established, and they have given some range of age from conception to birth, from birth to 2.5 year, and 2.5 year to 4 year, and 4 year to 7 year, and in somewhere it is 6 year. So this is the historical background of preschool in India. Next, historical development of recommendation of various committee and commissions on intervention of early childhood care education, means acting and signing physical exercise. What should be the component of this preschool education? Acting and signing, physical exercise, games and dancing, care of flowers and animal, drawing and making things. These were the kind of interventions of different policies or commissions which were came in India after this independence. Next, this is the important, although by various commissions and policies recommendations, even there are many problems of preschool education. What are? First is financial problems. Many schools are facing financial problem to run their these schools, preschools. Problem of expansion, because still today there are very few preschool in remote areas. Problem of control, somewhere the state there is a direct control of state government, and somewhere it is not. Problem of curriculum, because the curriculum is not uniform in all over India. Problem of staff, There are some preschool, there are very low staff, and there are some preschool where a good number of staff is there. Problem of necessary equipment, which equipments are required for the developing the child, uh, which are not available in the every preschools. Problem of research and experimentation. This is also big issue that very few research and experiments are being done on preschool education. Problem due to lack of awareness among the parents. Many parents still are not aware that their child, their ward should attend the school. Problem of educational cost. In some way, in some places like remote areas where income is very low and they are not able to afford the preschool education. Once the preschool education is run by some private or some uh, without funding bodies. Problem of priority. Many places are there where priority education is not on priority. They are having some their own old work culture is there, so they are not having priority for getting their child in education. So this is also important problem. The next unit says preparation of teachers for preschool. Describe the importance of teacher education. Describe the importance of preschool teacher education. Today's discussion will be based on this as per this unit. Teacher education is imparted in two stages, where pre-services before a teacher has joined the teaching profession, and second is in service when a teacher is already in service and require a continuous professional development. So there are two type of teacher education. One is pre-service and second is in service. When teacher a teacher education at both these stages are equally important, but preschool teacher education prepare the foundation and the orientation for the profession which a prospective teacher is likely to join. Main functions of teacher education are following. By getting teacher education, one has better understanding of the student as an individual, building confidence, methodology of teaching, because by doing kind of training in service or pre-service, he or she means teacher will be aware how to teach the child as per their need or as per their environment. So they are uh, important that they are aware methodology of teaching, building a favorable attitude toward teaching, familiarizing with the latest education, familiarizing with school organization, which kind of school, which kind of organization, which kind of management work in the school, creating social insight, improving standard in education, and training for democracy. These are the important functions of teacher education. This is importance of preschool teachers education. The specific objective of teacher education at this stage may be following: to prepare teachers for helping physical, mental, social, emotional, aesthetic, and linguistic development of the child by means of individual and group activities. By doing individual and group activities, preschool teacher create an interest or create a development, physical, mental, social, and other in the child by getting the preschool education to impart in them relevant knowledge of child psychology, basics of cultural anthropology. Means by doing preschool education, by getting the preschool education, the teacher always aware the child psychology to develop among them the capacity and desire for obtaining parental cooperation and establish coordination with the agencies working in similar areas, to empower them to organize educational games and supplementary activities for children, to provide abilities for arranging field trip for nature study and train their power of observation and appreciation, to enable teacher for preparing, selecting and using different kind of material at low cost with a focus on sensory and motor development of the children. to empower teachers to develop self-concept, self-esteem, and art of self-expression and sense of discrimination among the children. So this is the output of teacher education at preschooling. To enable teacher to develop environmental awareness among the children, to empower teachers by developing abilities for art of living good life. So these are the most important factor that one teacher get after doing the pre-primary schooling, pre-primary education. The early childhood education and teachers means what type of curriculum framework. The curriculum, this framework given by NCT is suggestive and not a perceptive one. It has considerable space for flexibility, innovation, and use of locally available resource community. And this curriculum framework is based on theory and practical work. Although, as per the recommendation of NEP 2020, recently NCERT has developed a curriculum framework. If you have time, please visit the NCERT website and you will get a curriculum framework on NEP 2020. Rationale of the curriculum framework. The area suggests this framework has been especially designed for understanding early childhood care education. In its realistic perspective, no formal teaching is visualized at early childhood stage. It is not a stage for introducing the 3 hours reading, writing, and arithmetic. Then transacting the curriculum. India is a India is having many diversity and many variety of manifestation, and yet bound by a thread of community. Teacher is expected to recognize commonalities and specificity in order to shape the personality of the child for living together in a particular environment or complex society, because living together is the most important aim of education as per Indian philosophy. Pedagogy. Pedagogy is based on practicum and evaluation. NCT proposed the following programs. See, NCT has proposed 3-4 program, that certificate in early childhood care and education, diploma in early childhood care education, diploma in early childhood and primary education, and postgraduate diploma in early childhood education. Based on recommendation of NCT, IGNU has also started this program in which you all are enrolled. What is next? Yeah, training and capacity building of early child care education in preschool program. Pre-service courses. There are so many pre-service courses in service courses, and some are kind of non-formal programs like NIOS and IGNU and other state university are also providing. These are the training and capacity building, and some kind of training intervention as or seminars and workshop as and when needed by the government or as well as the school authority. So preschool teacher, who lead, who take care who nurture the child age of 3 to 6 years is known as preschool teacher. Nothing is more. Then responsibility of preschool teacher. Demonstrate activity to preschoolers, organize and lead activities including storytelling, arts, craft, games, and field trip and music. Observe and evaluate social development and behavior and physical development. Discuss with parents the progress and need of their children. Discuss with parents and supervisors problem of children with emotional, behavior and health problems. Take care of preschoolers' basic needs such as meals. Establish the enforce rule of behaviors. Teach numbers, colors, shapes, letters, etc. Provide material and resources for children. Teach social skills. Teach personal hygiene and proper eating habits. Read books to children. After teaching strategy, instructional material when appropriate. Maintain record of children. create report on preschoolers, work with other staff members. These are the responsibility of preschool teacher. What is next? This is early childhood education and teacher education. Means nature of work, preschool teachers nature, nurture, teach, care for the children who have not yet entered kindergarten. They provide early childhood care and education through a variety of teaching strategies. They teach children usually age 3 to 5, both in group and as well as individually. They do so by planning and implementing a curriculum that covers various areas of children development, such as motor, skill, social and emotional development, language development. Preschool teachers should play a very vital role in developing the child. They have to introduce children to reading and writing and explain vocabulary, creative arts, science, social science. They should use, and for that, teachers should use games, music, artwork, films, book, computer, telling story, rhymes, music. All are the component which are the helpful for teaching in preschools. Professionalism in teacher education. Teaching is a profession and teacher education is a process of professional preparation of teachers. Preparing one of the profession is and involve action from multiple front of a profession is a characterized by sufficiently long period of academic training and organized body of knowledge on which understanding of the professional requirement is based. An appropriate duration, that is formal and rigorous professional training in the practicum experience in the field and the code of professional ethics that bind its members into the fraternity. Means here teacher education is a kind of profession. This is the unit 17, evaluating learning developmental outcomes in preschool. Let us take 1 minute break because I took. Yes. So evaluating learning developmental outcomes in preschool education. So in this unit, we will be able to define the term what is evaluation, what is assessment, and what is testing, attribute of learners evaluation procedure, need for evaluation in preschools, and what kind of evaluations and way to assess preschool children. So learner assessment, yeah, evaluation. Evaluation is a kind of assessment. Assessment must always be competitive process with learners trying to uh, excellence of the few of provided by the failure of many. Fear of failures is the greatest motivator. Assessment happens only at the end of educational program. Anxiety and the pain are the necessary accompaniment of assessment. Purpose of learners evaluation, because learning is a continuous process. So without evaluation, teacher may not be able then what outcomes is what are the outcomes of children learning. So learners evaluation is important to understand the strong and weak point. Why the evaluation is important? To understand the strong and weak point for selection, grouping, and certification, for revising educational program, for framing policies, for reconsidering input, ascertaining the fulfillment of aims and objectives of educational program, and quality improvement. These are the purpose for learners evaluation. Evaluation of scholastic and non-scholastic area, it play important role because there are so many scholastic programs and so many non-scholastic areas. So all should be evaluated. You must be aware that subjects, teaching of subjects are comes under the scholastic program, and some field work, field visit, and seminars comes under the non-scholastic program. So both evaluation should be there. Evaluation of non-scholastic, continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Evaluation should not done at the end. It is a continuous means it should be the learner's performance should be evaluated monthly, quarterly, or fortnightly, whatever. So it is a continuous program, and measurement also means what is the height, what is the weight, and what is the physical improvement in the children. So measurement should also be there. Some are the attributes of learner's evaluation procedure. One is validity. Validity is that the just a minute. Yes. So whatever evaluation is done should be valid because it should not be unvalid. For example, if we are giving a kind of activity to the 3 to 6 year age, so that evaluation is done for particular years only. Means all student, all child should be of same age group, that evaluation is valid. If the range is there, 3 year old, 4 year old, 5 year old, 6 year old, definitely their performance may not be similar. If we will take one questionnaire for evaluation of all age group, so their outcomes or their evaluation will not be valid. Same reliability, whatever we are evaluating, that should be reliable. For example, if we have given a questionnaire to the one particular age group and they are getting some score, once we are asking the same questions orally, they are not able to speak, they are not able to answer, means evaluation is not reliable. Usability and practicability, whatever we are evaluating, that evaluation, that outcomes should be usable and practicable, means in every situation that score should prevail. Objectivity, there should not be any kind of objectivity. If the person is giving outcomes that X place, that same outcome should be at Y place, Z place, there should not be any objective. Criterion reference and non-reference assessment, this is most important topic. So please learn this. I'm just giving you the First is criterion reference, means there is a questionnaire based on some criteria. Criteria means kind of science, kind of mathematics, kind of other subject. As far as norm reference means a particular age group is there. Now, some norms is there that learner should be that particular age should attain, that particular standard should be there. So this is the basic difference of criterion and norm reference assessment. So this is need for evaluation in preschool that you all are aware. Without evaluation, the teacher will not be able their outcomes, their behave change in behavior, their change in mental and physical and emotional improvement. So this is about the why the evaluation is important in preschools. Next, this is there are two type of test. There are two type of evaluation. You all should be aware that one is summative and one is formative. Let us take formative first. Formative test is which is taken by some equal interval. Like you must be aware that unit test is there. The unit test is taken every month. Means these are the formative test. Summative test is done at the end. That is term end examination is the one example of summative test. So this is a basic difference between formative and summative test and the all purpose. The purpose of formative evaluation is that whatever is being taught means first unit is being taught that is evaluated. The second unit is taught that is also evaluated and summative is at the last at the end of program summative test take place. So this is the basic difference. Tools for assessment, how we can assess, how teacher can assessment. That observation is the one, means we can observe the learner's outcomes, learner improvement. Maintaining a logbook, we can maintain the logbook that at that particular age what is the height, what is the weight, and what is the learning outcomes. Anecdotal records, this is also being used in the schools in that particular age. Complete profile, complete details of the child given in the anecdotal record, and all summative and formative results also there. Use of technology for observation, this is also one of the way for the assessment of the child's progress and child's improvement. This is assessment in preschool. On what are the parameter by which we can assess the child in the preschool? The first is health and physical well-being, means what is the weight, what is the health, what is the, so this is the one of the parameter. Second, social and emotional well-being, approaches to learning, whether he or she is taking interest in that particular subject. Language and literacy development, whether he or she is properly speak and he is aware about the literacy. And further general knowledge about the environment, about the geography, he is aware or not. So these are the parameter for assessment at in preschool system. This is continuation. Assessment of young children should include consideration of the 4 MS, means including data of multiple dimension, including data from multiple resources, collecting data at multiple point, and appropriate format for documentation assessment. Means first duty that data should be defined, then what data has to be analyzed, then from which source the data is being gathered, and then thereafter the multiple point which are while children are engaged in regular activities is needed. Assessing that multiple points over the time help the address the variability in children's development when different age observations should also be there. And appropriate format means logbook, journals, and what are the checklist you are using, that should be appropriate. That test may be the norm or criterion based test. This is the 4S method for assessment. Assessment in preschool. Experts generally agree that assessment of preschool children has the following purpose. What are the purpose? To plan instructions for individual and group, to effectively communicate with parents, to identify children who may require specialized program and interventions, to provide informations for program improvement and accountability, identify staff development needs, planning instructionals for individual and group. In different kind of planning should be there. Effective communicating with the parents. It is the teachers important or primary school level or pre-primary school level. Then he or she should be well equipped how to communicate with the parents about the learners improvement, identify children who may require specialized program and intervention. There may be some slow learners, there may be some disabled learners, so special or important interventions should be there for this particular group. Next is assessment to identify children who may need special, which are the one is developmental screening and diagnostic assessment. If the learner is slow learner, first is just screen these type of learner, and the second step diagnose that assessment how they can learn easily. This is the special service to the learners, providing informations for program improvement and accountability, identify staff development needs means should there should be training, time to time training workshop, assessment for learning instead of assessment of learning in the preschool, strengthening formative assessment and making it informal means formative assessment should be strengthened, that should be taken care in every month, having more of criterion reference test than norm reference test means they recommended that criterion reference test should be adopted. Listening and the bias on recall type questions means these are the recommendations which type of assessment should be there. So this is, I think, this is the overall discussion on unit on this block 4. So we have tried to discuss to or to cover MES 081, and this is the last day of this particular unit, and all recordings are available if you require, and even last year recordings also there, you can use them. And my humble advice is that based on this unit you have to prepare one activity, so please that should be done by you, that will be discussed in the last session. So floor for you, if you have any question you may ask, otherwise we will meet on next Monday. So okay, thank you, have a good day, good evening, and good night.
Thank you, sir.